Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So this is Meatloaf 68, guys, and got a couple of interesting things going on, and one of which I just wanted to say thanks again for all the oxen out there that signed up for a T-shirt. And I added, just so you guys know, I added some larger sizes for all you Clydesdales and Cape Buffaloes out there. We got sizes up to 5XL now, so if you're outside of 5XL, can't help you. That's as big as Teespring goes. So I added those products. There's three or 4 days left on the campaign before they start printing them and sending them out. So just so you guys know, you can reserve for the future if you want one. You change your mind and you want to get one, and the campaign's over with, and they'll just stack up until they reach some threshold where they print again. So that'll just kind of keep going on. So I just want to say thanks to everybody that bought one, and it's really appreciated, and you guys really stepped up, and it's a real nice feeling for me. So so we got that. We got some salvage yard finds that we're going to look at, some really cool stuff. I got got a YouTube creator box that showed up, and then we also have a couple viewer appreciation things, and then I got a sale flyer that I want to show you guys some stuff in that too. So let's get my combat apron on, and let's go look at some cool stuff. Okay, so this is what we got at the San Pablo Flea Market, otherwise known as Claude's Junk Pile, and this is in Berkeley on San Pablo and 61st Avenue. I guess I might be right on the border with Oakland there. Anyway, we got a few items here, and we'll kind of go through them real quick, and we'll talk about them. So let's get this one out of the way first. This one here. What this is, it's a nest to set a soldering iron in. I have a couple of big soldering irons, and when they're hot, you need to set them on something so you don't like lay them on your leg. Anyway, this is a special little nest for them to sit in, and you can see here that it's got a double wall thing here, so that kind of insulates it a little bit. Anyway, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably sandblast that or just clean it up a little bit and then just start using it. But it fits, it's nice for soldering iron. So I've got that. And then this little chisel here. Now this chisel's a little different here. You see it's got a little angle on it, so this one you can actually do flat surfaces with. And I looked at the name. I saw USA, and I can't quite read it. I'll have to clean it up a little bit and see, but it looks like somebody was scraping some snot with it or something. I don't know what, some weasel snot. But that'll clean up nicely. It's not all mushroomed, and it's a different configuration of cold chisel there, so that's kind of cool. Got that. And then you guys might recognize that. Now these normally come in pairs, but I only found one. And what this is let's see, pull this off here on the board here. So the idea here is it's a leg for this. So it's an inside divider leg here. So now let's see, a smart guy would probably try to line those up, but. Anyway, it's just a leg for a removable leg divider, and I don't see any name on it. Might have something on it. I have to look. I don't know if Starrett marks the legs on these things or what, but anyway, you guys have seen this on the background there, or this pair of dividers here. This is a pair of Starrett. I believe they're number 92s or 82s, something like that. These are pretty old ones here. these are a nice configuration because you can swap out the goodies on the legs and do different stuff. So actually, in this case here, you can have a big pair of calipers if you want. So, but I choose to put them like that. Okay. All right. So there's that, and then let's do this one first. This is just a small pair of tinner snips, Pexto, kind of name brand ones, and these are okay. These will probably go in the trade bag here, and these are kind of nice. This small size like this, you know, and ones that have been sharpened a few times here. See, we don't have a lot of overlap there. That you know, you can cut sandpaper or Scotch-Brite or something like that. You just kind of you know, use a kind of a junky pair so you're not tempted to use your good ones on stuff like that, on abrasives. So, you know, generally a bad idea to cut abrasives with your good cutting tools. So, now this one here, this is kind of cool here. Actually, maybe I'll do a quick cutaway here. I'm going to change the camera a little bit and I'll show you how this thing is used, which is kind of cool. You guys will get a kick out of that. Okay, so here's this little wire bending jig that I showed you a minute ago, and the way this is used, it's just kind of a universal little bending jig. And what you can do is you can put wires in here, and then you can do some different kinds of bending operations on them. Okay, and so it's kind of got little grooves set up for different things. And here's one that you can do kind of acute bends, okay, like that. And then you can rearrange these pins depending on what you're doing there. Let's see, let's take a couple of these out here. See if we can do something semi-interesting here. So, you know, depending on how patient you are, you could probably form some nice little eyelets, right? So I'm just kind of incrementing my way along here, trying to bend the same amount each time. And if I start going south here, I'll just stop real quick. So maybe you could bend an eye or something like that. Okay. And then go the other way so you can make hooks and stuff like that. Anyway, they're just kind of they're just a cheapo little bending fixture, and you know, a clever guy could mill his own if he wanted to, although they're about $6 or $8 from McMaster Cars, so it's probably not worth making your own unless you have some different ideas or some very specific features that you want to have, and this can screw down to a workbench or something like that. So, and then, you know, it can take a couple of different wire sizes. So if you want to bend some stuff like that, you know. Oh, hey, maybe you can make your own TIG torch holder or whatever, something like that. So I have one, but I figured I'd get this one. All the pins were with it, so you know, it's got some corrosion on it, but it's still there. It's still all there. So anyway, a little wire bending jig. Okay, so I got this in the mail the other day, and I just want to show you guys a couple of things in this. And KBC is an interesting tool company. It's similar to MSC and Travers and Enco and those guys, although they have their tool line is a little bit different, and they do this good, better, best kind of gradation to the tools that are in here. Now, I happen to know Paula Bass here. She's the president of KBC, so I know her, and I talk to her occasionally, and she's a sponsor of the show. Just to put that out there for you guys, she helps out in her way, and so Paula, you know, thank you very much for your support of the channel, and so just to put that out there so you guys you know that's there, because I'm not trying to conceal anything. So. So I'm just pointing some stuff out. So Now, you guys have seen this. So KBC and Noga have a long relationship. So KBC was buying Noga stuff when probably nobody else was buying Noga stuff. This is a company that's based in Israel, and they have some very clever tools. And as you know, Adam and I really go gaga over Noga, which sounds kind of funny, right? So here's a great example. So I just bought one of these from Travers. They were the first ones to kind of have one, at least come out in the catalog. Anyway, mine was $50, or it was more than that. It was like $50. Well, here they are for $40. So now KBC has recently gone through a revamping of their website. So check it out. It's a lot better than it used to be. It actually works now. And Paula, good job on getting that up and running, because it was high time that needed to happen. So let's check out a couple of things. This was the first thing. These are these multi-burrs, and so far I like the one I have, and Adam has one now too, and he likes it. So let's pop through here, and we're going to check out a couple of things real quick that I got flagged. Well, that's why I have the tags on them, right? Nimrod. Okay, so this is a good one here. I get a bunch of emails. Well, this is reminding me of it, and I have no idea if this is a good price or not. You guys can do your own shopping. This is a company called Miltech, and I get a lot of questions about face mills, and what's the best face mill, because they're expensive, right? Well, this is an interesting system here in that it can utilize 3 different inserts with a negative geometry or a positive geometry, okay? And interestingly, it can go from a round insert to an octagonal to a square, so you can do shouldering with it. And now these fit on an arbor, and I think the smallest one they have is 2-inch, but I'm not positive. You can kind of check it out. But this is an interesting set in that you can buy one face mill and swap inserts and cover a broad range of materials. So guys that are shopping around for face mills, check out the Miltech thing, do a little reading on it, see what they're offering. We had one at the shop that I used to run, and I think we had it all set up for steel and stainless, and it worked fine on the lower horsepower machines. So we had a smallish one, 1.5 or 2-inch or something in that region. So anyway, I show you those, and that's a kind of an interesting system there. All right, enough said about that. Let's pop over to the next tag here. What am I looking at here? Oh, okay. So this is another Noga product here, and this is a little deburring set that's on sale, it looks like. And this one's pretty good because it's got a handle. It's got an ID countersink. It's got an OD, so it could do the outside of something round, and then it has an O-ring, or excuse me, does it have the O-ring? Yeah. So it's got an O-ring deburring blade and a thread cleaner blade, which is a very interesting blade. So if you have some ID threads that you have to clean out, sometimes they're kind of a pain in the neck to clean out. This thing will whirligig around inside there and clean out these ID threads. And then in addition to that, it has a couple of regular kind of hole deburring blades. $35, pretty good price, okay? So it says regular net price $40, so it's on sale. But that's kind of a nice setup if that covers a lot of what you have to do. Now you have to swap between all those, but that's a pretty good deal there, as far as a lot of coverage, okay? And once again, do your own shopping. KBC may have the best price, they may not have the best price, or maybe you don't like them, maybe you love them, okay? So check it out, try their new website, and see if you like them. What do I want to say here? This is an awesome small grooving system. Now I have this, and we'll pop over to the lathe and I'll show it to you. And so this is, they're typically 1/2-inch or 5/8 shank holders, even smaller actually. I think it goes down to 3/8, yeah, 3/8. And these are kind of along the lines of the Kaiser thin bit. And But the inserts are very well ground. It's just a nice little grooving system for small grooves and small part off. Okay, I think they go down to 19 thousandths groove width and up to 73. And you can get threading bits and turning bits. There's quite a few geometries available. Now this is a kind of an abbreviated selection here, but do a little research on the Nicole mini systems, and it's spelled funny as you guys can see here. So when you're looking for it, it's Nikcole. So that trips up a lot of people. I think that's kind of I don't know, a bad choice in how to spell that, although maybe they didn't have a choice. Anyway, check that out. That's my favorite small grooving system there. Its basic insert price is 15 bucks a piece on sale here, 17 regular. And you can catch these on sale all the time. So anyway, check out the Nicole deal. All right, so here's this is the Nicole mini systems here, holder. And I've had this one for years. In fact, it's been crashed a couple of times. Mr. Bozo borrowed it once or twice, or maybe even 3 times. Anyway, that's what it looks like. This one's actually been relieved on the side for some job where it was getting close to something. But that's what it looks like. And this is a 1/2 inch square size. And I got a bunch of inserts here. And what we'll do is I'll get in nice and close, and we'll look at some of the inserts that go with this setup, and we'll talk about some of those inserts. So let me get a good background, and then we'll pop out some of these inserts and we'll have a look at them. All right, so let's take a look at some of these here. So now let's see, what do we got in here? We got some threaders, and this is for small threading. This is one of my favorites here. That one's blown up there, but let's turn it over. You can kind of see it. So this is good up to about 1/4 I think, that kind of thread size. But they're just ground beautifully. You see the little flat on there. They're really nicely done. And then that's a uncoated. Here's a coated one. Get it out of there. I don't want to just dump them out. That one hasn't been used there. But you can see the flat looks the same, everything. So real nice. You 2 edges out of them. Let's see what else is in here that's interesting. Thread. Yeah, so this is a groover here. Come on. That's a groover. I don't know how wide that is. I'd have to measure it. But you can see. Now, obviously you're not going to go in 3 miles with that, but if you're parting off some little tiny stainless tubes or something like that, you want a real narrow width, and you're not going to need a lot of depth. So there's a little groover, and I think here's a big fat one in here. They're so sharp they don't even want to go back into the plastic here. They just touch the plastic and they all right, come on, you bugger weed. There we go. Okay, and that looks like a thick one, 73,000, 75,000, something like that. 1.5 millimeters, I don't know. Just very nicely ground. Okay, so there's some other geometries that I want to show you guys instead of hanging out on all those. Let's pop these open here. So, yeah, here we go. You know what? I don't have one of the full radius ones. So they have a profiling insert too that's basically a full round. But this one here is very interesting here. And this is a very free cutting insert with almost a 0 corner radius there. And you can see that. You see that it's a giant chip breaker groove in the middle of that thing. Let's see. Let's do this side because it's kind of nicer and newer. You can see that. So what's cool about this is if you have to create a geometry that let's see, wrong pen there. A geometry, a cylindrical geometry that's cut like that, right? Okay. Let's just say it's like that. Okay. What you can do with this one is, you can plunge in a couple of times. with a groover, and then you can come in with this one and you can turn this way and come out, and then you can turn this way and come out. So it's kind of cool that way for those kinds of operations, and it'll leave a nice finish on the bottom too. So anyway, so Nicole Mini Systems, there's the name again for you guys. Check them out. Like I said, this is my favorite small grooving setup that there is. Thanks. Okay, so this is what I was saying. This is last week's kind of awesome score. I went into one of my favorite little haunts, kind of a scrapyard, and this is in Berkeley. It's called Urban Ore, and it's down off Ashby and what is that, 7th or 9th or 7th? I think so, near Ashby and 7th. Pretty close to Highway 80. Anyway, actually, you know, the footage I shot of that old South Bend lathe with the weird speed change setup, that was shot at Urban Ore too. So they get all kinds of donations, and anyway, I walked through there, and this was there. Now, it didn't look like this when I saw it. This was rusty and it was pretty dirty, but basically I recognized it for what it was. And what this is, for those of you that don't know, this is a slow speed diamond grinder. So it uses a diamond abrasive here and a slow rotational speed compared to, say, the Baldor tool grinder. And it's used for, this company kind of made its name with sharpeners for engraving tools. But anyway, these work great for carbide tool bits and a variety of sharpening and lapping and honing type activities. So I'm going to bring the camera in a little closer. We'll take a look at it. I'll just kind of show you some of the main features of it, you know, at a distance here like this. So this rotates in two directions. Okay, it can rotate opposite that too, which is nice. You can switch it on the fly. And you can see it's turning very slowly, so it's more of a honing action than a serious material removal machine. It has a table that traverses back and forth, which is really nice, and then it has a little protractor here that you can set. Okay, once again, I'm going to bring you in closer here. It was missing a couple of things on this that I fixed, and then it has the ability to tilt the table too, quite easily with just a locking lever. And this was missing. I had to make a new one. So those are a couple of the things. And then it has this is a little table lock to keep the table from moving if you don't want it to move. So let me move the camera in a little closer so we get a better shot at it, and I'll show you a couple of the other features of this thing. Okay, so here we are a little bit closer, and maybe you can see this wheel rotation a little bit better. And you hear it's very quiet, and you know, if you bump your finger in it, it's not like it's going to tear you up. Okay, there's a protractor that goes both directions. Okay, and then our tilting table. Okay, that locks. Now here's the other thing that's really cool. It pops up flat like that. So if you want to do something flat, sometimes this is a better orientation. Now I've used this to do the bottoms of articles on these too. Now I only got the one wheel with it here, and this one's it's pretty hammered here. Somebody was grinding steel on it or whatever, and then the steel, this was rusty, so it got wet. And this was, you know, it still works, but it's contaminated with iron, and you can see some of that residue here. But so I ordered, and this is the Glendo Tool Company. Excuse me. I ordered a bunch of new wheels for this. And I paid more for the wheels, the new wheels, than I did for the whole machine. So, and here's where you stow your spare wheels. It has a ceramic disc that you can use with a liquid, a diamond and a liquid suspension for doing super high finish stuff. Let's see, is that still in the frame? Yeah, this isn't really in the frame. So the cabinet has some shelves in it. There's nothing in there right now. It's 110 volt, and this is a really nice feature here. I wish the Baldor did that sometimes. You just want that that kind of flat platen thing going on. So this is my great tool find for the week. My buddy Jeff Tiedekin over at Monkey Like Shiny, he's got some friends over there, and we did a little I don't know what you call it, good buddy, kind of good buddy discount. They had some price tags on this, and this has been sitting around for a while, so they marked it down for me a little bit, so which was nice too. So anyway, I'm stoked. Can't wait to use it. Wheels are coming, and then so you'll start seeing this in more of the videos when we touch up tools. You can sharpen pretty much anything that you want on this. This is 360 grit here. I got all the way up to 1200 grit diamond, and then I got the ceramic wheel, and I have, did I get quarter micron? I think I got quarter micron, you know, several grades of diamond suspension, I think down to quarter micron. I can't remember now what I ordered, but anyway, you'll see that coming up. Okay, so this one here, this comes to us from Toby Zastro, and some of you guys may recognize that name. Toby is the winner of Keith Fenner's toolbox giveaway. He's the guy that got that just absolutely wonderful walnut toolbox that was built special for the toolbox giveaway. Anyway, I sent Toby a couple things, and so he reciprocated and sent me a little box back of some interesting stuff that he had kicking around. So let's take a quick look at some of this stuff. This is kind of neat. So there's some big bolts or cap screws. These are grade 8s, and they're pretty big. 5/8 by 11-inch long. These are 275 millimeters long. And then there's I don't know what Toby was doing with these, but there's some socket head cap screws too. These are A-bomb sized here, and cap screws. So anyway, Toby, thank you for those. Those are great. This is quenched and tempered steel here, so this is nice and hard. You know, if you need a piece of really strong stuff or something for that. Set those aside. And then this is actually mine, but he sent this along too, which is interesting because what this is this is a tap driver, okay, and it's got an internal square in it that you can lock a tap into, a big tap. And one of the problems is when you're driving a tap in the lathe, the shank gets too big unless you got a big, huge chuck to hold them. So this is a 1/8 here. This is a 25 millimeter tap there. This would be hard to hold in a regular chuck to power tap. So what you'd end up doing is piloting the center and then putting a tap handle on this and then turning it by hand. That's kind of the normal method. Now with this guy right here, what you can do is you can pop it in there. If I get it opened up enough. Oops, there it goes. It's got a sliding member in it there. There it goes. So it goes in there and it locks into the square. And now you can put this in the tailstock and you can power tap with that sucker. And pretty cool. And it looks like it holds a range of taps. What I don't know is, do you have to replace this plate for each one? Maybe you do, I don't know. But I think a clever guy could figure out how to bush that down for smaller size taps. So basically you would just try to cover the range that didn't fit your chuck. So that would be the way to handle that. Anyway, Toby, thanks for that. That's cool. I don't have one of those. And that'll be kind of neat. And then the other thing that was in there was a small micrometer head. Now, this one here So this is like what you'd see for an adjusting stage or something like that. And this one has a rounded contact end to it. And let's see, yeah, this is in inches here. Now this one, I tried turning it and it seems pretty stiff, so I haven't spent any time with trying to free it up. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with it there. And this one's cool because it's got a little locking mechanism too. So Toby, thanks for that. That's kind of cool. And if you guys haven't checked out Toby's channel, he's one of the things we've been hounding him for is videos of his work. So his channel's getting revved up, and Toby's doing some interesting stuff. So go check out his channel. We'll put up a link here for Toby's channel, and you can go see that and check him out. So let's look at the next thing. All right, so this next one's really cool here, and this comes to us from Paul Carts, and he sent me a very nice letter here and a couple of just pretty spectacular, cool little items here. And we got a little anvil, a little brass anvil, and then a brass hammer from the Hammer Dry Plate Company. So it's a very nice letter here. And so a little bit of background on Patrick here. I trained to be a machinist by the U.S. Navy and worked aboard the USS Wasp. This is an aircraft carrier, CVS-18, and from 1967 to 71. So we know what he was doing in that time frame. He then worked as a tool and die maker with a small manufacturing company, and while he went to college, and then he worked as a self-employed carpenter that evolved into his career as a custom cabinet maker. He retired due to illness in 2011. So Patrick, thank you very much for this. This is a very nice gift. I'm gonna bring you guys in a little closer because this is too cool for school here. So this is a pretty neat little hammer to add to the collection, and it's just wonderful. I opened it up and I was just touched that Patrick, that you would think of me for this, and I really appreciate it. So let's come in a little closer and we'll take a look at these guys, and you guys can appreciate them as well. Okay, so here's the little hammer there, and you can see the Hammer Dry Plate Company, and then on this side, St. Louis, Missouri, and it has if you look down in the below the raised font there. It's got this peppering, this kind of peppered finish there that's just very cool. And then you can see the head. Now this looks like this little guy got used a little bit, so I don't, I'd love to straighten that, but then on the other hand, I would just be heartbroken if it chose that moment to break. So I don't think I'm just going to leave well enough alone. It's got a really nice patina on it too. Now this is cool. So there's they used to give away little anvils, as kind of salesman's gifts, and this particular one here is the Al J. Lewis and Son. And this is St. Paul, Minnesota, and the abbreviation for Minnesota is MINN, which is kind of an older way that's done. It's very nicely proportioned little anvil, so it's quite cute. Anyway, salesmen used to hand these things out. You bought so many grinding discs or end mills or something like that, and they give you one of these to forge our friendship. Well, Patrick, thank you very much. I think we're well on our way to forging a friendship there. That's a very nice gift that you sent me. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so this next one comes to us from our buddy down near Tucson, Arizona, Gordon Melby, and Gordon has gone off the deep end on the garage sailing. So now we've got him hooked. Now he's out on the prowl for interesting stuff at garage sales and flea markets. So he sent me a little package of interesting stuff here, and we'll just kind of take a quick look at it. Oops. So this is this appears to be some kind of camera mount or some kind of quick disconnect mount here, and it's got a little dovetail slide here, so you can pop this on and off. And it looks like it was supposed to be oriented vertically, and then this can kind of ratchet around here, and then it has an adjustment there. So it's a little articulating block. Kind of cool. Not sure what we'll use it for. Looks like it was Gordon spent $50 on it, probably 50 cents. I don't think Gordon would have bought that for $50. At least I hope not, Gordon. So anyway, thank you. That's kind of cool. I don't know quite what we'll use it for, but it's got enough articulation that it's of interest. We're going to save that one for last. So then we have this guy here. This is a Cine little tripod, okay? And I'm not going to open it up all the way, but it's a cute little tripod, and it's actually quite heavy for its size. And then it has a little articulating thing here, and then it can swivel here. Very nice knobs on it. I suppose those could be phenolic or Bakelite even. And I'll pull one of the legs out here, but it's got, okay, kind of a mighty telescope. There it is all the way out. So this thing can actually sit on the floor. That's a lot of telescoping. And the shape of the little buttons allows you to use your palm against this point to close it up. So kind of a little travel tripod there, and for us videographers that do a little bit of filming there. Anyway, Gordon, thank you. That's a real nice little tripod there. It's a cutie, and I don't know for sure, but this may be European. I'm not sure, and so if anybody knows, maybe they can throw something up in the comments if they know anything about those. Just kind of a nice tripod. And then the last thing is a little rawhide mallet, okay, and it's actually got kind of a nice handle on it. I like the shape of this handle. It's got a little flare at the bottom. It's kind of a semi-unremarkable hammer, and no offense, Gordon. The best part of this is the little label that he put on there. I just love the little label that he put on there. It says "Help me," and now there's not a lot you can do with one of these. What you can do is you can clean the handle, and then what I do is I actually belt sand the faces to remove embedded metal and any grease that's kind of permeated the end of them. Like you can see there's some grease in that. So you can kind of belt sand the faces back a little bit. It smells wonderful in the shop when you do that, by the way. So we'll give this a little cleanup. And now these solid rawhide ones. These are pretty lightweight hammers. So these are for lightweight doinking and bopping. So a couple of ox words there for you guys. So anyway, Gordon, thank you very much. Always fun to get a package from Arizona. And Gordon's a longtime viewer and a big fan. So thanks again, my friend.